Hello, welcome to I Teach, I Learn. My name is Aishwarya and I love suggesting activities for your children if they're between the age group of 3 to 9. And I love talking about Montessori as well. So this video has activities for your 6 to 9-year-olds and it is all about a very important life skill. It's called as organization and planning, which many adults, including me, are not very good at. But we try and we learn together. So in the elementary environment, a great amount of emphasis is put into letting the children choose their work and be responsible for it. So there is a flow of activities in the primary, but in the elementary, we sort of guide the children and have weekly meetings with them to help them understand that they need to show interest in all the areas and help them gain more confidence in areas that they're lacking. A kind of environment is then generated where children are able to plan for their work, execute it on their own, and be responsible for it. And one thing that really helps them is maintaining a work journal. So each child has a journal in which they mention the time, they mention what work they're choosing. So they also start being more aware of how time works. So this is the first step in time management. The work journal acts as not just a record of the child's work, but brings in a sense of accountability and responsibility. Another way in which we encourage planning in the classroom is we allocate responsibility to different children through picking off chits and ensuring that one person is in charge. So the children have to plan for that as activity as well and come together as a group and work on their duties in the classroom. This could be feeding the class pet or cleaning a shelf or prepping for another activity. Any presentation that is given to a group of children is also mentioned to them beforehand so that they can actually write it down in their work journals and be ready for the presentation. Other ways of planning, how planning is encouraged in a Montessori elementary environment is, of course, if you look at the video on going out, you'll see that children actually plan the going out trips, the excursion trips, if you will, all by themselves once they are given the tools to it. So Dr. Montessori, of course, says that independence and freedom doesn't mean that children do whatever they want. It is when a person does something knowing what are the consequences and how to do it. So that's when you can actually say that person is independent. And those tools are first introduced to the children, and after that they plan their activities on their own and they are more responsible for their own work. So the role of the adult is pushed backwards in a different way in the elementary environment. Making children accountable for their work and for their time and how they utilize it is exactly the way you would want them to start learning and preparing themselves for the future, because what we strive in a Montessori methodology is to create learners for life and not someone who just learns for marks and then forgets about it. So being responsible learners and being explorers is what Dr. Maria Montessori envisioned. She says we should widen the scope and curriculum in which the child studies and not restrict it to the school syllabus. As I've mentioned before, in elementary environments, the children are more prone to working in groups. Now, this doesn't happen in a day. We give them the presentations as a group and help them assign roles to each other so that they are able to have the tools in hand to work cohesively and understand what it means to listen to everyone and what it means to lead a group and develop other life skills along the way. So that's another aspect of planning where you learn how to work in a team as well. So please do try out the activities in this video. There are some very clear tips on how you can introduce planning and organization to your 6 to 9-year-olds in your home as well, and let me know how it works out and what are the changes that you then see in your children. So check out the activities. Bye.